Now this was supposed to be a lot easier for me to present, but I've got two things going against me. Number one, I'm doing this with only a little bit of practice. I've only done 1st and 2nd Chronicles and Ezra and Nehemiah, so I'm still trying to get the hang of this site. The other thing is that I'm doing this, as you can see, at 2:42 in the morning, so I'm starting to get a little tired. This is how I talk when I try to sound professional. But if you'll allow me to be vulnerable with you, I'm going to actually take you behind the scenes of all of the videos that I've been making for almost a year now, copying the Bible into Minecraft. And I've had a lot of requests for, well, actually, no, I've had a lot of people offering to help. And this is a tutorial on what I do to put the Bible into Minecraft so that you can decide if you still want to help. That'd be great. If not, that's okay. So I'm going to start off here. As you can see, you've got 1st Chronicles chapter 1. I've got Java edition loaded up. First, I'm going to show you because this one is kind of easier as far as the actual construction is concerned. And so what I do is I go to bible.com. I select a book and chapter, in this case 1st Chronicles chapter 1, and just going to switch to this here. There we go. Click on that, page down until I get to the bottom of the chapter, shift and click to highlight all of the text, copy, and then go to Google Docs and paste. Doesn't like it sometimes, wants to do that. I don't know why. What I'll do next is, as you can see here, there's no space between the verse number and the first character. I'm just going to put a space in there. I do it this way because I haven't found another Bible website where the text is easier to copy and format. This is a minor inconvenience, even when it's got a large number of verses in the chapter. You just do it like that and like this. So I'm just going to go through this here. I'll time lapse it just so that this video doesn't get boring, and I'll start talking when I'm done. When I get to these where there's a header or something like that, that I don't need that in the finished product, so I'll just erase that and then continue as I'm doing here. Okay, so there is one chapter done here. Just gonna title it just for simplicity's sake. But I'm not actually going to keep that there. I just do that as sort of a divider when, if for whatever reason I need to rebuild a book, if it just goes missing for one reason or another, it's easier for me to recover it this way. But otherwise, I will highlight all of that, copy, and then I go to gamergeeks.net. This is one of two different command building utility websites. Another one is minecraft.tools. I've tested that one. I like this one a little bit more because I can paste the entire thing into a single contiguous space, and then I just separate the pages using this little button here to insert a page break. So what I'll do next, I'll highlight everything, because the default color, leaving it like that, if you put that into a command block in Java Edition, it'll get an error message and it will not execute. So I have to explicitly select black. This will work perfectly fine until I get to the New Testament. Then I'm going to have to be a little bit more picky, because I eventually, like when I get to the words of Jesus, I want to keep those in red, because it's just what I've grown used to. Anyway, so I've got all that highlighted, I've turned it all into black, and now I'm going to put a line at the top, because once you get to game here, and what have I got going on here? I forgot to clean this up. Oh well, I'll just hide all of this. Looks like I've got something in my offhand right now. Looks like another map. No big deal. There we go, got rid of that. And so, oh, oops, I'll fix that later. This is what I'm doing here. This is where I'm putting all the books of the Bible in. As you can see, it shows bookshelves. One book equals one chapter of the Bible. Now, this is just the guest area. This is server IP 24.72.233.134. That might be backwards. I'll just put it across the screen in case anyone wants to join the server and check this out for themselves. But I'm gonna drop down 60 blocks where the originals are kept. This is just a copy that I occasionally duplicate whenever I've completed a book. And let's switch to, oh, I was in creative mode. Okay, just here. And this is where fun begins. So I do 12 lines per page, and so I'll just copy 12 lines from here. Because as much as the website developers try to make it look like it's actually the Minecraft font, if you'll compare the left to the right, you'll see there's a little bit of differences. On the left, every character is 5 pixels wide with 1 pixel of white space separating each of them. On the right, you'll see that not everything is 5 pixels wide. A lot of the punctuation is 1, maybe 2 pixels wide. Some of the characters are shorter, like the letter I, the letter L, even the letters F and T are less than 5 pixels wide. And the overall pixel width in a Java book page is 113 pixels. Here it's like 126 if I counted it right. As we go along, you'll understand why I don't get a lot of help with this, because I'm picky. The reason for that, I'll get into that eventually. But what I'm going to do next here, I'm just going to show you how I make a full book here. This is just the first page. So I'll hop back to gamergeeks.net, insert that page break I was talking about earlier, and then another line. I'd like to have a couple of lines of white space above and below just to keep it looking. What I'm trying to do is to make it look and feel like an actual physical Bible. I know it's easier just to go buy one from the nearest Christian bookstore if you have one in town. But this is for people that wouldn't be walking into such an establishment. If you're curious about the Bible, this is for you. You can download it once this is done. Java edition will eventually become available on Planet Minecraft. Bedrock edition is partially uploaded to Planet Minecraft. I'll show that to you later. But yeah, I'll continue, and I think I'll do another time lapse as I just continue copying and pasting page by page. Okay, here's an opportunity to talk about something else, hyphenation. Not a big fan of it personally. If it's convenient in the event where there's a nice chunk of white space at the end of a line because it's like one character or 2 characters too wide or something like that. If it's a word where the hyphenation was already there in Bible.com, I will use that just so that it fills in some of the white space on the side. If it's anything else, I'm reluctant to go with that. I may prefer to just leave that space there, because otherwise it's going to look like it's machine gun with all of the hyphens that could potentially be in there. One other exception that I might make is if it's like an obsolete old English word that can be broken into 2 words that are still in current use. For example, armor bearer looking glass, bedchamber. Some of those words might still be in use, just not as frequently as it was 400 years ago. So yeah, let me just clean this up here and then I'll continue copying and pasting. Okay, so that is First Chronicles chapter 1. Now, I'm not going to be signing this book because I'm not sure if anyone noticed. This is all normal font text. There's nothing italicized. One thing that the King James translators did when they were translating from Hebrew or Aramaic or Greek into English, it didn't really flow well in the English language at the time, so they decided that they needed to add certain words in there just to make it easier to read. And that's why I'm using this book command making website, because that allows me to use italicized font. And in the New Testament, it'll allow me to use red letters. Otherwise, it would all just be black. I haven't figured out how to format it without using a command. So I'm just gonna double check that everything is spaced correctly, that there's 2 lines above and 2 lines below, and that each page is 12 lines in length. Okay, that looks good. So now what I'm going to do here, go to this command block and just clear out the previous one that I was making there. And now I'm going to put in the metadata, in this case, First Chronicles 1 author. In this case, we're not 100% sure. There's speculation, and there's, what is it? It's the Talmud that it says that Ezra was the likely author. Thing about the Chronicles is that it spans several generations. Like, it's listing a lot of the events that were not necessarily recorded in the books of the Kings, but these were documented in parallel with the books of the Kings. So this was probably like the scribes that recorded this stuff. Ezra may have been the compiler. Again, we don't know, so I'm just going to leave this as author unknown. And this is the original, resolved. And then I want to copy the command, and then I want to paste it in here. Hit done, and then hit the button, and there we go. I have the book, First Chronicles chapter 1. Just going to look through just to make sure that everything actually executed the way that it was supposed to. And as you can see here, the word was is not part of the original Hebrew. The translators added it in there. Otherwise, it would read the name of the one, Peleg. Tiny bit awkward. Easier to read saying the name of the one was Peleg. That's one of the sons of Eber. Anywho, just keep reading, just make sure that it still looks good. Yeah. So First Chronicles chapter 1, that is done. I'm gonna hop over into survival mode, and I'm gonna, ouch, ouch. And drop it right there. And that's book in Java edition. And I think that is it for, yeah, like I said, Java, that's about as simple as it gets. Oh, right. Just for disaster recovery purposes, what I want to do now is copy. What am I doing? 2 more. Here we go. Control A to highlight all of that, Control C to copy, go back into Google Docs, and I'm going to replace all of that with this, now showing the page breaks. If something happens, which it has in the past, and hopefully won't again, but just in case, I now have a copy of this so it's easier to rebuild the book in gamergeeks.net. I don't know if it works in minecraft.tools, but it works this way. And that is it. That is how I do this in Java Edition. And so now I'm going to show you the circus that is Bedrock Edition. This is a lot more difficult. I do it because I play Bedrock Edition. I cut my teeth playing Pocket Edition. I've been playing it for 8 years, even though it's now Bedrock Edition. It's still on my cell phone. But that's where I got started on this project, and that's where I continue to make all of the videos that I upload on all the various platforms: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, Truth Social, Snapchat, even. Just like everywhere that I can get this, I put it up. I've tried putting some of this on Reddit, but it keeps getting taken down because I've apparently violated one of the rules. I'm pretty sure the r/, they actually made a rule because of some of the other stuff I was posting. That's another video for another time. Anyways, this is the fun that I have making books in Bedrock. The first thing I have to do, that website, gamergeeks.net, as well as minecraft.tools, those are designed for Java Edition only. They don't work in Bedrock. I don't know if they ever will. That'd be nice if they did. That would be a whole lot easier. But in the meantime, again, I'm going to bible.com, and I'm going to copy from Esther because I've been doing some practicing. I was using a different website before until I realized that the New Testament didn't have any of the words of Jesus in red letters. So I switched over to bible.com. And so here's what I do. This one, maybe it's easier if I just show you, but I'll try to explain it as I go along. For each chapter, and I do one actual book of the Bible at a time here. So Control U, and this works on both Chrome and Firefox. I'm not sure if it works on any other browsers. Maybe it does. But Control U opens up the source code for the page. Control A to highlight all of it. Control C to copy. Control W to close it. And then I go to a program called Notepad++. And I paste it there, Control V. And rinse and repeat. We're going to do this again. Here's another time lapse. I'm going to copy all 10 chapters of Esther into this file. Okay, there's 81 lines of HTML that I now have to cull the majority of that formatting until I can just get the text that is italicized. The other site that I was using was a lot easier, but I'm switching over to this because, again, red letter formatting, I want that for the New Testament, so this is what I get to do. So I'm just going to go to the View menu and take off the word wrap feature, so I just get each line individually, and then I'm going to erase each line except for the ones that start with 9 spaces and this div class and the rest of that. Okay, so now this is the challenging part, is getting rid of all this extra text. And a lot of this is a lot easier. When I highlight something, then I go to Control H to bring up this find and replace, and a lot of the time I'll either replace it with a space or with nothing, or with a carriage return a new line. So I'll just do what I have been practicing doing and try to explain it as I go along here. As you can see, some of these have headers. I haven't figured out the best way to get rid of them. Right now I'm just experimenting with highlighting them and then erasing them. That seems to be the most effective. We'll see. The slash span, I'm leaving that there because I know that I'm going to need that for the italicized formatting later. Okay. I'll put chapter headers in between each of these groups here. I did this wrong, so I'm just going to try something else here. Now, I think this is probably the point where I can probably do the italicized font. And this is where I talk about a symbol that may or may not be on your keyboard, and that is the section symbol. I'm just going to bring that up here on Google search. It's this thing. And this is what Bedrock uses for text formatting, whether it's italicized format or red letter or a number of other options. Anyone's curious about it, you can go to the Minecraft wiki, but otherwise, this is what I'm going to be injecting into this next. Now here is where I really enjoy using Notepad++ versus just regular Notepad is carriage return, new line. I'm going to replace all of them with a space. This will be a little bit overdone, but I can fix that later. Very, very overdone. Okay, now to clean that up. Put it on a word wrap. That's better. Oh, look at that. Did not see that. Now this was supposed to be a lot easier for me to present, but I've got two things going against me. Number one, I'm doing this with only a little bit of practice. I've only done 1st and 2nd Chronicles and Ezra and Nehemiah, so I'm still trying to get the hang of this site. The other thing is that I'm doing this, as you can see, at 2:42 in the morning, so I'm starting to get a little tired. So I'm just going to try to do this as quickly as possible with what I have to work with. I think at this point I'm just going to have to go line by line. Here's another time lapse. Okay, it is clean, as clean as I can make it here. This program is a lot more powerful than how I've managed to learn how to use it. If anyone knows how to use this even more powerfully than what I've been doing here, I'd be more than welcome to comment on what I can do better. Anyways, so now I copy all of this, Control A to highlight all, Control C to copy, and now I'm going to take it back to Google Docs and paste. All right, for some reason Control V doesn't work too well unless I actually right click and hit that. So now I've got it all in here. Now before I call it a night here, I'm gonna first take a drink of water. And secondly, I'm gonna convert this into Unicode. And the Unicode text converting website that I'm using is QAZ, or to my American brothers and sisters, QAZ.WTF. I don't know what the WTF stands for. If you do, well, as long as it's family friendly, because this is a family friendly video, you're welcome to comment. If it's not family friendly, then never mind. But yeah, copy one chapter, paste it into the text converter, hit enter, and I'm going to go with the third set of Unicode glyphs, that being full width. Double tap here to highlight that, shift control down, but I don't want that next set over there, so I go up, and there I've got all highlighted, Control C to copy, and Control V to paste, and there it's in Unicode. I'm going to do this 9 more times. Okay, Unicode is almost done. There's just a tiny bit of repair to be done here. The Unicode conversion also converts the section symbol and the letter next to it, so I gotta Control H and fix that. Let's grab this and pop it over here, and I gotta do it for both section O and section R. Because otherwise Minecraft won't recognize it. Okay, so that's the first part and the more laborious part of prepping the Bible for importing into Bedrock Edition. And the second part is what I do on my cell phone. I will cut over to that, and I'll just edit that into this video. Good morning. I am walking to work. I had my hair cut a lot shorter than expected last week, but that's not why it's taken me so long to record this part of the program. It's because I was waiting for a much shorter chapter in the book of 1 Chronicles to demonstrate what I'm about to show you as far as copying the Bible into Minecraft is concerned. So I'll just switch to Minecraft right now. Okay, play. Curious where this is. There you go, 24.72.134.233. Come on down and take a look sometime. Let's go. Okay. Wait for the map bar to load. Here we go. Just did 1 Chronicles 9 last night. I'm looking for a writable book. That's what I'm looking for. Just hop down here. my underground comments. Anyone visiting the server, you're not going to find it. It's just save that for later. But yeah. Where am I? I am here. Hey. So I'm just basically copying what I think is going to be about 10 lines of text, usually 5 lines from this Google Docs file. And sometimes there's some trimming required. This turned out to be 11 lines. Just move that over to the next page. And yeah, this is all that I do, copy and paste. I'll give you another time lapse here. Okay, that is equals 10 in Bedrock, standard font. I'm just going to flip through it a couple of times just to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines, and fell down, slain in Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard after Saul and after his sons. And the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua. Whoops. See, this is why I do this, because I missed this. Whoops. Excuse me. Just try to get that in there. Now, what did that do to the spacing? That's what I was afraid of. See, I goofed up already. Doesn't help that I'm doing this outdoors. Also, I'm doing this with shades on, but that's because I'm on the recovering end of a nasty head cold. So I'm going to just completely start over here. And yeah, I'm just going to erase this recording and start over. Oh my goodness. So that is what I do to bring the Bible into Minecraft. It is a privilege to be a pen in God's hands. And for everyone that has been blessed by this project, you know, your comments telling me such, those are a blessing to me. For anyone that is not able to help with any of these steps, but you know, you still want to help out, pray. Cover this thing in prayer. Absolutely drench it in your prayers. Let God know how this has blessed you and how you want this to be a blessing to others, because this is going to be something that people who otherwise wouldn't open up a Bible might get curious about. They might say, hey, that's interesting. And maybe that'll make the difference, the eternal difference in their lives. And that's my deepest and biggest hope and prayer, that this makes an eternal difference in somebody's life. I am more than open to feedback on how I could do this better. So, you know, post that in the comments. If you see anything that I could be doing better, absolutely. If you're looking for another translation, it is, where is it? Here, I had it on another, I guess I got rid of it. I'll just open it up. It's on Planet Minecraft. If you want to see another translation, you're welcome to do it yourself. The King James Version Bible in vanilla Minecraft. That's what you can search for in Planet Minecraft. You know, knock yourself out. So my phone is warning me that I'm running out of recording space, so I think I'll stop it here. Thanks for watching. God bless, and bye.